I don't need a specific day to spread love. I don't need a specific day to share joy. That is who I am. That is what I do. Woo! Welcome, one, welcome all. This is your space for everything empowerment. I am your host, Tariq Williams. This is the Speak Your Vision podcast. You are the listener. We do not do incomplete here. We give full perspectives, we give different perspectives. Not only I am Vision of Hope, but we are Vision of Hope. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, leave 5-star ratings. Then guess what? It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. That's what I get for free for the singing. But yes, it is the holiday season. It is Christmas time in Hollis, Queens. Mom's cooking chicken and collard greens, rice, corn, chicken, macaroni. So Christmas in Hollis by Run DMC. Great song. Anyways, so yeah, it's Christmas time. It's the holidays. Happy holidays to you and yours. But this episode is an interesting one. They're all interesting, but we want to definitely share different perspectives. And I'm not typically one to use blanket statements. Blanket statements saying all or everyone has it all wrong. But this might be a moment where I might use that blanket statement as you've seen the title. Um, you got it all wrong when it comes to Christmas and the holidays. Everyone's wrong. You're all wrong about the holidays and Christmas time. We're all wrong. You're all wrong. And in this episode, I'm going to break that down, why everyone's all wrong about the holidays. But first, I'm going to go over some quick negatives that people feel when it comes to the holiday season, some quick positives that come around when we talk about the holiday season. Then I want to share a story with you all about me working with some different clients and what I shared with some other colleagues. And then from there, truly get into what the big problem is with everyone thinking about how the holidays work and what that looks like, and ultimately call it what it really is as it pertains to a whole mindset concept and what it looks like for us to once again jump into 2025 full speed ahead, but give that mindset piece to this conversation as well. Because this is the Speak Your Vision podcast, your space for everything empowerment. So, what would I be doing here if I didn't empower you? Let's get into it. So, holidays, right? Let's talk about some of the negatives that come around during holidays. I think a lot of times, I mean, capitalism and spending have become a big part of what some people think about when it comes to the holidays. People are like, I got to spend all this money, and people are leaning into the fact that it's very business-ish and that there's a expense situation when it comes to the holidays. And I think that has left a negative connotation to some people. Like I've literally heard people say, "Hey, I hate the holidays because the man or the corporate America has set it up to make money and spend money, and I don't like the holidays for that." I think that's a choice, but that's besides the point. We're not going to get into that part today. But I've heard people mention that, right? I've heard people say maybe that it's the expectation of needing to do something or what have you, right? That they don't like that about the holidays. Other things maybe it brings up some tough memories sometimes, right? So those are some of the negatives I've heard actually, and I didn't look this stuff up, okay? These are things that people have literally told me. This is not how should I say? It's not opinion. Like people have actually told me, hey, I don't like the holidays because of this, right? Um, and so something to think about, okay? And this kind of goes for any holiday, right? If it's, Hanukkah, whatever that you celebrate, okay? Kwanzaa, things different things to celebrate, right? Not all those are related towards gifts, but when we get to this time of year, a lot of those advertisements come out. Positives now. When it comes to the positives with holidays, I think a lot of times people are thinking about spending time with family. And I had a conversation with someone recently, and I thought this was really interesting. I asked them, so when you think of Christmas and the holidays, what do you think about? And they said it's their time to recenter. It's their time to connect with family, spend time with loved ones, find reasons to be happy. Maybe there's some giving involved or what have you, but it's their time to recenter, gather in, and just express and feel love. That's cool. I think that's great. When it comes to those thought processes on the holidays. And I think ultimately that is what the holidays do their best to exude and represent. Um, but I need to talk about this because once again, I think we have the holidays all wrong because people will take those positives and find a way to turn them into negatives. And so we're going to talk a little bit more about that today. Um, and put it in a way where I don't know if this is arguable, but if you want to argue with me about this perspective today, please feel free. But let me tell you all a quick story. So, it's crazy to think that we're in 2024 right now and we're getting ready to go into 2025. The pandemic for some people feels like just yesterday. That time we were allowed to stay home in our houses. Um, and at that time, I did a lot of hands-on teaching. As you all know, I'm blind, and I taught other blind people how to travel independently, how to use their canes and travel independently. Now, that was a very interesting time because we were teaching blind people how to travel independently, yet we were all at home. Okay. We were all at home, but we're trying to teach blind people how to travel independently and be able to get to point A to point B. And see, my big thing when I'm teaching blind people, especially when it comes to travel, I say, listen here. My goal, and they look at me like I'm crazy when I talk about this, and bear with me, everybody. This is going to come back to the holidays here in a moment. But I tell them my goal when it comes to teaching you how to travel as a blind person is not to teach you how to get from point A to point B. It's not. It's not. Tariq, you just told me you taught blind people how to travel, but you said your job is not to teach them how to get to point A to point B? No, that's not my job. Correct. My job was to teach blind people the skills to get from point A to point B. And so if I could teach them the skills to get from point A to point B, then they can go to C, D, E, F, and G on their own. See, I'm an awesome person to hang out with. However, they can't take me everywhere, right? So we have to find ways for them to be able to travel independently. So a part of what this looked like for my clients and students, especially during the pandemic, was self-monitoring. All right. It was self monitoring, the opportunity to actually work on the skills on their own at home and just listen to the things that I was telling them over the phone or through Zoom to be able to have those moments to learn on their own, self monitor, actually do the skills, have the conversations. If they didn't understand something, ask the question, take responsibility, take accountability. Okay. And you have to understand that we were all at home. Okay. So I had other colleagues talk to me about this, and they were like, Tariq, I can tell that when I'm talking to them on the phone, they're not doing what they're saying that they're doing. So if that's the case, Tariq, how do I get them to do it? Understand this. The program at that point in time, in that time of the year, was an all adult program. So all the clients and students were 18 and older. And so what I said to them was honestly speaking, it's their program, not yours. You are the resource, you are the guide, you are the education, you are the knowledge. However, it is up to the student, it's up to the client to take that role and accountability and actually do the thing, even though you're not there. even though you're not there. It's their response. They have to take control. Okay. And think about it, you could tell anybody to do anything, but it's up to them if they actually choose to listen to it. All right. Why did I tell that story? Great question. I'd love to tell you, but give me a couple more minutes here. See, I told a story about this a while ago now, and I'm just going to run through it very briefly. Once upon a time, I had to go to work in Phoenix, and I had to take the bus to work. I woke up around 3, 4 a.m. to get to the bus stop by 5 o'clock or so. I get to the bus stop, I have my white cane with me. I'm traveling independently, and I'm doing the things that I teach. I'm doing the things that I do. Okay. Because as a blind person, ultimately, I don't want to be a fraud. I don't want to be fake. I am who I am, and I'm my authentic self, and I love that about me. Okay. There was a point in time in my life where I didn't believe in my blindness skills, but once again, I had to work on myself mentally to be able to get to a place where I accepted who I was as an individual and understanding that blindness was a part of that now. Follow me on the journey. So I got to the bus stop around 5 o'clock, 5:30. The bus pulls up around 5:45. Cool. But I'm just sitting there, right? I'm not in no rush. This bus is not leaving before 6 a.m. So I'm sitting here, okay? An individual, very kind individual, walks up to me and goes, "Oh, hey, Tariq." Oh, she didn't know my name. What am I saying? But she goes, "Oh, hey, can I take your bags for you?" And I said, "No, ma'am, thank you. I appreciate it." She probably only asked me that because maybe she wanted to be nice, or because she noticed I had my cane with me and that I might have trouble doing it. I didn't think anything. I said, "No, thank you. I'm just sitting here for a moment. I can take it." And maybe she appreciated my independence. Maybe she thought it was rude. I don't know. Besides the point, nevertheless. So people start filing onto the bus. And then I decide to start walking towards the bus. Okay. And I get ready, and there's somebody in front of me talking to the bus driver. And he says to this guy, "Oh, you're at the wrong stop. Your bus leaves in 15 minutes, and your bus stop is at least a 15, 20-minute walk away from here, closer to downtown." And the guy he was talking to was like, "What are you talking about? You actually dropped me off here like 8, 10 hours ago, and I've been staying here all night. I don't know where to go. And I had to get on my bus so I can get to Mississippi. And we're in Tucson, Arizona. Okay." And I'm listening to this and I'm like, I'm not really thinking too much about it. And then the bus driver goes, "Okay, here are your directions to get to that bus stop. You probably want to walk pretty quickly and run so you could catch your bus to, I think, Texas or wherever it was stopping first." And so I'm kind of listening to this, and he gives the guy directions. The guy starts walking away. And then I give the driver my ticket to get to Phoenix. And then he goes, "All right, cool. You can get head on the bus." But I say to the driver, I said, "Wait a second. Did you really give that guy walking directions to get to that stop?" He's like, "Yeah, like he'll run and he'll make it." I said, "Sir, you and I both know he's not making that bus on foot. You and I both know he's not making that bus on foot. It's too far of a walk. It's not going to happen. He's going to miss his bus." I said, "Do you still see the guy over there?" And he says, "Yeah." I said, "Call him back here." He calls the guy back. "Hey, yo, woo!" He calls the guy back. He already started walking because he needed to go, but he was definitely going to miss his bus. And I asked him, "Hey, are you able to get yourself a ride over there?" He's like, "I don't have any money. Like, this is it. I have to be able to get there." I said, "Hold on, man." Okay. I said, "Hold on. Um, Give me a second." Ask the driver, "What's the address of the sub he has to get to?" The bus driver gave me the address. I quickly put it in my phone. I ordered him an Uber. I ordered him an Uber. Oh, thank you, thank you. I probably would use the guy's name in this episode, but I don't know his name. I don't even remember if I ever asked him. I just did the thing. Okay. I just did the thing and got it over with. The cool thing about the driver was the driver did his best to wait as long as he could, um, to be able to just make sure he got on the Uber to get to his bus stop. According to the time frame, the Uber picked him up, and then from there, he got to the bus stop before the bus was scheduled to leave. I was able to see it on my phone. So that was pretty neat. And I gave the Uber driver, hey, this is this guy, blah, blah, blah. He's trying to get to this bus stop. It's not me. He got there. Great. As I'm on the bus, one of the clients from the blindness center was also there. I had no idea. He had to go up to Phoenix for a doctor's appointment. I had no idea this other student was on the bus. He heard a cane and the voice like, "Oh, is that Tariq?" And so he heard me, and I thought that was really funny because, oh, Tariq, like, what's going on? Oh, I just ordered that guy an Uber because he needed to get there, right? And this is how everything starts to come full circle for a moment. All right. I had no idea someone who I knew was actually on this bus ride. Had no idea. All right. And we start talking about the fact that I ordered this Uber for this random person and how I'm using my cane, using my blindness skills to be able to do the thing. And that's just how I live my life, not as a fraud. Okay. I am the person who I want to be, not just once a week, but consistently. Why do I bring this story up as it pertains to holidays and to Christmas and to explain to you all why you all have it all wrong? Great question. Once again, I told you that before. Here's the answer. Because here's the thing, I do not need an excuse, a holiday, a birthday, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Valentine's Day. Take your pick on the holiday. And don't start tripping here and calling me the Grinch or the Scrooge or anything like that, because that's not what this is about. This is understanding that we don't need those special moments or specific days to spread love and be the person who we want to be. Why do I need that? There is 365 days on the calendar, leap year, hashtag 366. But why do I have to wait for a specific day to give or do something great if I have the means to do it? If I have the means to do it, let's be clear, you can't give all the time if you don't have the means to do it, right? You got to take care of you. But if you have the ability to give, to be a friend, to spread love, to be joyful, why would I dedicate that to one day when it could be my lifestyle and I could dedicate it to every day? That doesn't make any sense to me. So are the holidays a time for recentering and spreading love and joy and all that? Absolutely. And so here's the thing though. That's not just a one day thing. It's a lifestyle thing. It's the active choice you make to live your life a certain way every day. I brought up the blindness story earlier because when it comes to even my skills and doing things as a blind person and understanding that that's who I am as an individual, I'm not faking that. That's who I am. That's how I'm going to do things. That's how I'm going to live my life. And so when it came to those students that were learning during the pandemic, they had to take accountability. See, a lot of times we talk about this and we're getting to the goals section here a little bit. A lot of times we talk about motivation, discipline, which is which. In my opinion, they don't compare at all. But in this conversation, I'm going to talk about discipline for a moment. Because what is discipline really? It's doing what you believe in, it's your morals, sticking to your values, working to your goals, doing all those things, depending on the conversation, doing all those things when there's nobody watching. Because we could talk about having that good lifestyle. We could talk about giving. We could talk about spreading joy and love. But are you doing that consistently? Are you doing that when it's not the holidays? Are you doing it when nobody else is watching what that looks like? When you don't have supervision? When you're not going to be celebrated for doing it, are you still doing the thing? The choice is really yours here. Show up or show not. Be fake or be real. Who are you really? Are you someone that spreads joy and love? Or are you someone that spreads hatred? What are we doing here? I don't need a specific day to spread love. I don't need a specific day to share joy. That is who I am. That is what I do. I don't when I'm coaching other clients, and if it's cane travel or blindness skills or mindset and problem solving coaching, this is not just a one day thing for me. It's consistently how I live my life. It's about the experiences of who I am as an individual. So why would I say something on here on the podcast and then do something different? Because you never know who's watching. I got on the bus. One of my clients were on the bus. I would have had no idea. Okay. But I easily could have been fake and just not do the things that I always do, but I always do them. So I don't have to worry. How are you showing up every day? How are you showing up consistently? Are you spreading are you spreading love, joy, happiness, hatred, malice? Which one is it consistently? Do you need to be nervous if somebody else shows up and says, "Oh, I see how you really are, Tariq. I see who you really are. Bill, John, Tim, I see how you really are." What are we talking about here? Okay. So be you consistently, be the person you want to be. That's the thing. People don't understand this. Be the person you want to be. Be the person you want to be so you no longer have to want to be that person because you are that person. Because you are that person. You don't have to want to be them because you already are. But if you still want to get to that person, still want to get to that, etc., well, the problem here is you're not taking the steps to be that person. So let's recap. You're all wrong about the holidays, Christmas. God bless you for whatever you celebrate. But you're all wrong because it's not just a one day thing, it's an everyday thing. Make your choices, make your decisions out of love when it comes to other people and what that looks like for the holidays. You don't got to recenter yourself because you're recentering yourself every single day. We don't got to worry about when obstacles and trials and tribulations come because we're working on being better every single day. Because what is that really? Sticking to your values, sticking to your morals, sticking to your goals when nobody's watching. And that's really what discipline is. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, anything that you celebrate. Spread love. Love y'all. Not only I am Vision of Hope, but we are Vision of Hope. This is your Speaker Vision podcast, your space for everything empowerment. Let's get it.